money back, money back, money back, woo! Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Cleveland Browns. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. First carry for the rookie Nick Chubb. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
All right, now look at 56. Look at 56.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A second down throw for Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
They had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Mayfield now. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. That's strong running. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Now the ball comes loose, and the Texans scoop it. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football.
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play. And right away, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Here's Watson now on second down. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Third and long, it's Watson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down. On fourth down, here's the veteran Shane Leckler to punt it away. Jabril Peppers is deep for Cleveland. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Throwing, Mayfield, flush to his right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Hot. Hot.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Dumping it off for Johnson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a handoff to Henry. Well, now he bowls him over, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Richmond, come back, come back. Come back, come back.
On first down, Watson. Green with a catch left side. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, right at the 40. To throw is Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Going deep here. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Trying to get it to Landry there. Boy, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the 2nd foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Jamie Collins in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. But really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in the halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On third down, Mayfield. Underneath for Johnson. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
We got three down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
Mayfield on play action. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. David Njoku was the intended receiver. And now it's third down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Mayfield. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be down deep in Houston territory. And that one results in 35 yards.
Last stop.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And now he'll tuck it and run. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Around the NFL, they're into the second quarter in the Meadowlands, and it's the Bears who are off to the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Now a play fake here on first down. And this is going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Watson now going to throw again. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Here's Watson. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Shane Leckler now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. They find some open field here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. And here comes the Texans now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Richmond, come back, come back.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Galvin has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He'll buy some time right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Tiger. Come back.
A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to air it out deep for Green. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie Denzel Ward. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They run it again with Chubb, and he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56.
From the gun, Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. This is brought in at the 21. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Hauled in by Anderson, left side. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is because you got to get his attention because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Mayfield to throw it. Flushed out right. That's complete. It's Gordon. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. A bad false start penalty there. Now second and 6. Mayfield now from the 50. Steps away to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Mayfield from the gun on third down. Dancing to his left. And he's got his tight end, Njoku. Evades him at the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And a big 32-yard play on third. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Second down, Mayfield. Rolling to his right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Todd Davis.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
After the interception, here's Watson. And Green with a catch right side. And he gets this one on just shy of the 35 to the 34. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now it's Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it? What a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets them a new set of downs.
Come back, come back.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receiver can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Mayfield down. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First catch for last year's NFL catch leader, and it's a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
10 more there and another first down. A first down carry here for Johnson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
No. Check. Patriot.
Handoff comes to Chubb, and he'll get this one down to about the 17. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Browns on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 9.
Watch it now, Barney. Detroit. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Mayfield. Flush to his right. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, it's a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden, they're down. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Come back.
They'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw. Underneath for Miller. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
2nd down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10.
Target.
Back to throw. Rolling to his left. Now a desperation throw deep down. It's caught inside the 25. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
They begin this drive with Chubb, and he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. And now the Texans want to call another timeout, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
Leopard! Check!
And again, it's Chubb. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. He's at the 50. And all the way down to the 39. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
All right, here we go.
A give. This is Chubb. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
Leopard!
A run for Nick Chubb, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And the storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for the Browns, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll have a chance at redemption next